So picture this. Has this ever happened to you? You sit down with your food, you're eating, you're enjoying yourself. Your food tastes great. It's exactly what you wanted. And you look down at your plate, it's empty, and you realize that you are stuffed. Let's talk about it. All right, guys. So welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back to my channel if you've been around here a while. My name is Kendra. This is Kendra Creates, and this is my space for sharing my weight loss journey with you, as well as tips and tricks about health, wellness, fitness, all that good stuff. And along the way, you'll learn a little bit about me. So if that stuff interests you, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel. So today, what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about overeating. So I know a lot of us suffer from this problem, right? It's probably why we may have gained a couple of extra pounds. It might be, in my case, the reason why I am fat. So we've probably been told that the best way for us to lose weight is to watch our calories. Calories in, calories out. I mean, there are whole entire Reddit groups. Yeah, Reddit groups that are reserved for this calories in, calories out philosophy. But if you think about it, calories in versus calories out will not necessarily determine your weight loss, because we have to think about the nutrition that we're putting in our body, right? Because the less nutritious food that we have, that's probably the less that we are going to be satiated. Because those satiating foods, such as fiber and protein, are going to keep you fuller longer. Therefore, you're not going back for seconds, thirds, more snacks, etc., etc. And this is where that overeating comes in, okay? So today, we are going to talk about a couple of ways for us to stop the habit of overeating, okay? So let's talk about our first tip to stop overeating. So this one is to pay attention to your hunger cues. You want to try to eat when you are mildly hungry versus starving or ravenous. And why? Because when you are extremely, extremely hungry, you have a tendency to overeat. So there has been a hunger rating that has been created to rate your levels of hunger, okay? So you see the hunger rating and you can evaluate where your level of hunger is, okay? So you want to think about how hungry you are before and also after you eat. So maybe about 20 minutes or so after you eat, so you can decide on if you're really full or whether the food just really tasted good and you just wanted to taste some more of the food. Okay. So learning this takes time, and it also takes practice, because we are trying to overcome probably of years and years of habit. Okay. So it'll take a little bit of time for you to get used to your hunger cues, not fighting through that hunger. But as soon as you're kind of like mildly hungry or moderately hungry, you want to eat, okay? So don't try to wait until like you're starving or you just can't, because it just causes you to overeat. It may also cause you to binge eat, okay? So we want to try to learn our hunger and fullness cues, and then also listen to our hunger and fullness cues, okay? So the second tip for you is to eat slowly. So I know when the food tastes really, really good, we don't want to put the fork down and stop eating. So we have some tips for you to try to institute eating more slowly. So the first thing that you want to try to do is you want to make more time to eat if you can. Now, some of you may have jobs or work jobs where you don't have the luxury of taking your time to eat, or you may be interrupted and things like that. But as far as dinner time, if you have the time to take for dinner, you want to sit down and you want to savor your food. You want to get in the good practice, the good practice of eating more slowly. Because when you have all these things going on, it may be to where I have to just scarf down my food. Or if you are on the go, you may, of course, stop by the drive-thru and get your fast food for breakfast in the morning. And this may cause you to consume more calories, less nutrient-dense food than you should be, which will cause you perhaps to overeat or to be hungry again and eat again because the food wasn't as nutritious as it could have been. Also, you want to eliminate distractions. So try to not watch TV, try not to be on your phone. You want to keep conversation at a minimum, or if you know that you can multitask, then that's okay. But you want to try to eliminate distractions so you're not just eating and eating and eating and not realizing that, whoops, I ate too much and now I'm full, I'm stuffed, okay? Also, you want to try to set your fork down between bites. So this, of course, is going to prevent you from eating if you eat with a fork, right? So you may want to try this as practice as well to help you to keep from overeating. Yep. And then my third tip is portion control. So I talked about this in my eating out video. You guys remember that one? So there are some great tips that you can introduce so that you can maintain portion control while eating. So when you get your food, you just want to put less on your plate. I can remember when I was young, taking more food than I ate. I was told I was being big-eyed. Yeah. So you want to try to take less food than you think you're going to eat. Because, of course, you can always get up and go back and fix you some. And helps you get your steps in, too. You want to choose smaller portions. So this is like when you're out at a restaurant or when you're grocery shopping or when you're at a potluck or anything like that. You want to choose smaller portions, okay? So this is just a general tip. So if there's an 8-ounce serving size yogurt or 6-ounce serving size yogurt, try to go for the 6-ounce. See if that is good enough for your snacks or your mealtime or things like that. And like I said, you can always go back for seconds if you aren't as full as you'd like to be. Okay? So those are a couple of things that you can do to institute smaller portions, and then also use smaller plates. So it's kind of like a mind psychology trick to where if you have a smaller plate, then you're going to get a smaller portion, therefore reducing the amount of food that you eat. I don't know if this works. I just get the plates that I have in my cabinet. I've never thought about like buying a smaller plate or getting a smaller bowl or anything. I think that once you get into the habit of just fixing yourself smaller portions, it honestly doesn't matter how big your plate is, because you're going to be like, if I eat all of that, I'm going to feel uncomfortably full and I'm not going to like the feeling. And that's what I had to get used to. I do not like to be stuffed, like to the point where my stomach just kind of protrudes and I'm just feeling like, oh, I can barely breathe. Like I hate that feeling. So yeah, you kind of get used to the smaller portions. All right. And also in that restaurant video, I talked about, if you're out at a restaurant or whatever, that you can get the wait staff to box up a portion of the meal before they even bring it out to you. And so this is also another way that you can portion control. If you feel that you don't have enough control yet to control your overeating habits when you're eating out. So I think this would be a good practice to institute as well, to get that portion control thing going and get it together. Okay? So these are just a couple of quick tips that can help you with the struggles that we have with overeating. So hopefully that can help you guys. I know that it's very, very difficult to stop eating when you're full, especially when that food tastes so good, or when you've been starving and you're hungry for a very long time. Oh, yeah. But hopefully these things can be instituted in your food, in your eating habits, and you can begin to overcome the difficult habit of overeating. All right. So hopefully that'll be good for you guys. And my weight loss progress, I know you guys want to know what I've been up to. So last time I was 221.4 pounds. And this time I am now 222.2 pounds. So sadly, I've gained 0.8 pounds. Not even a pound. It's okay. So as I always say, the scale is going to go up and down, up and down, up and down based upon many, many factors. So please don't let that deter you on your weight loss journey, because I know I am not going to let it deter me. All right? All right. Okay. So my final thing that I want to talk about before I go is my positive word. So my positive word today, it comes from Gloria Steinem. The first problem for all of us, men and women, is not to learn, but to unlearn. Ooh, this is right on time with today's tips, because overeating is something that you have to unlearn how to do. It is going to take a lot of practice. It is going to take a lot of time, and it is going to take a lot of work in order for us to unlearn that habit. This is something to think about and to take with you on your life in general, because there are a lot of things that we have to unlearn that we've been taught, especially when it comes to food, when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to myths about exercise and things like that. We have to unlearn these habits. We have to unlearn the way that we think and the way that we talk. When I talked about food having no moral value, this is something that we also have to learn, because food is neither good nor bad. Okay? So you have to unlearn a lot of this diet culture like talk so that you can be successful in your weight loss journey. It's going to take time to unlearn all these negative things that you've been taught, especially the way that you perceive food, especially the way that you perceive dieting. You have to unlearn that. You also have to unlearn the way that you talk to yourself, because that is the worst place to be, is for you to be in your own head when you're on a weight loss journey. Because when you have that negative self-talk, it's going to greatly affect the outcome of your actions. So there's a lot that we have to unlearn. All right, you guys. If you like that positive word, go ahead and like this video. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel so you can hear more of these positive words and tips that I give. Right? Yep, sounds great. So I want to end this video by saying, please, y'all, be kind in a world full of hate. I'll see you guys next time. And thank you so much.